Good day, everyone. So we will be discussing the teacher education and educational system in South Africa. So the reporters or the assigned people in this topic are me, myself, Arce Angeline, together with Miss Erandio Elliene and Miss Permejo Lhavel. So the one that is assigned to me is the feature of the teacher educational or education institute. So there are a number of years of preparing for teachers in South Africa. But before that, let me discuss something or some idea that talks about the teacher education in Africa, or particularly in South Africa. South Africa is currently experiencing a shortage of teachers. According to one study, the country is in need of as many as 30,000 additional teachers by 2025. So the government has invested heavily in teacher training and more than double the number of annual graduates from teaching program from 5,939 in 2008 to 13,708 in 2012. So that project, that public university will graduate more than 20,000 new graduates a year by 2019. So the standard requirements for these new teachers is a Bachelor of Education degree, a credential that is typically earned upon completion of 4-year university program, including a 1-year teaching internship. Alternatively, holders of a 3 or 4 years non-teaching bachelor's degree can study for 1-year post-secondary advanced diploma in education, or also known as postgraduate certificate in education. After completing the necessary training, all potential teachers must register with the South African Council for Educators, or also known as SACE, S-A-C-E. So, registered teachers are required to pay a monthly fee and follow a code of ethics. So, failure to meet these requirements will result in the termination of their registration. A number of lower-level teaching qualifications, such the Certificate in Education and the Diploma in Education, are awarded by universities mainly as exit qualification in incomplete bachelor's program, but presently do not entitled to teach in South Africa. So there are 2 routes in becoming a teacher. The one that I mentioned a while ago, a 4-year Bachelor of Education degree or BEd, and the 3 or 4 years bachelor's degree followed by 1-year post certificate in education or PGCE. So once completed, both routes leads to classification as a professionally qualified teachers. Upon qualifying, you will be required to register with the South African Council for Education, just like what I've mentioned a while ago. So these are the features of the Teacher Education Institute. So there are 2 routes, can be 4-year bachelor degree or 3 or 4-year bachelor degree, but needed to pursue 1-year postgraduate for them to be qualified as a teacher. And that's it for my part. The next reporter will be Miss Permejo. Thank you.
Okay, so good day everyone. I am Lhavel Permejo, and let us now proceed with the process of licensure. So when we say license, it is a professional credential that allows a person or an aspiring teacher to work lawfully as a teacher in a specific area or in a country or in a school. Okay, but before you get a license, there are specific conditions that you must meet in order to become a teacher. Okay, not just in South Africa but also in other countries. But today we're going to focus in South Africa. Okay, so here are the requirements to become a teacher in South Africa. Okay, so first is the National Senior Certificate or the NSC. Okay, so teachers in South Africa, they have an extensive training because they want to improve their country's educational standards. And this NSC or the National Senior Certificate is one of their way in doing that. Okay, so before you became or you enter or be accepted in a degree program that you want, okay, so you need to pass this NSC and the subjects that you have passed in your NSC, though they will not matter as much as if you want to become a primary teacher or a secondary school teacher. However, if you want to teach an older child or a specific subject that you want, okay, so you must have passed relevant classes to what you want. Okay, so for example, if you want to teach in secondary school, you'll need a degree in that the topic that you wish to teach. So, for example, if you want to become a math teacher, you'll need a degree in mathematics. So, it should be related to the subject that you wish to teach. Okay, so that's the first requirements in or in getting a licensure in a license in. Okay, next is the teaching diploma. So in South Africa, this is one of the quickest and the less expensive ways to become a professional teacher. So anyone who qualifies can enroll in any South Africa South Africa's diploma teaching courses. And the good news is that you can specialize from the start and choose whatever subjects that you want to teach in the future. And in South Africa, it only takes roughly 18 months to complete a teaching diploma. And as you are in the process of completion of the training, you can also apply as an education assistant wherein you can experience invaluable work experiences and at the same time you can also help the youth or the students in your country. Okay, so third is the Bachelor of Education degree. So this is the quickest and most straightforward route to becoming a teacher in South Africa, particularly if you are a citizen or a permanent resident in the country. So you will need to pursue a bachelor's degree in education for 4 years or depends on the plan that you choose for your studies. Because you can also have another 2-year honors degree or a master's degree or a doctorate's degree if you want to teach in a tertiary institution or in colleges and universities. Okay. Can and then next is a 3 to 4 years degree and 1 year PGCE. So when you say PGCE, it is a postgraduate certificate in education. Okay, so this is a step up from a bachelor's degree, and it is recommended if you want to have a specialization in teaching or in teaching a particular subject like English, math, like that, science, like that. And the disciplines you pick for your 4-year degree must be covered by the PGCE. Okay, if you follow this course, you should be able to work as a professional high school teacher in a specific subject. But it is important that you know that uh, passing these steps alone will not provide you permission to teach in South Africa. Okay? In other words, you must obtain a license first before being recognized as a professional teacher in South Africa. And then fifth is to register with South African Council for Educators or the SACE. Okay? Once you have become a qualified and certified teacher or you already have the certificates that allow you to teach in South Africa, so this is a requirement before you may be before you hired as a teacher. Okay, you must submit a fully completed application form that presents your identity card, and update police clearance certificate, and you should also pay the registration cost to the South African Council for Educators. And it is important to remember that all educators that works in South Africa's African schools must be registered with SACE. Okay, because working as a teacher without a license is prohibited. So, in conclusion, having a teaching license is a must if you want to teach in South Africa. Okay, so after earning the requisite degrees in teaching, it is a terrific method to get or to have a license to improve your teaching skills. Also, it will help you to have opportunity to learn more experiences from other teachers, and even if it is difficult to get or have a license, it is very important for you to have for your professional progress, and it is also unlawful to teach in South Africa without a teaching license. Okay, that's why having a teaching license is a must.
Thank you, Ms. Permejo. Again, good day to everyone. Now let's proceed to the features of level and system of education in South Africa in terms of their elementary or primary education and secondary education. Now, let's begin to the elementary education of South Africa. So, in South Africa, the years that a student must spend in their primary education is 7 years. So, in these 7 years, the students are required to complete the grades R, or which is also known as the reception year, or it is equivalent to kindergarten. So the student must complete the grades R through grade 6. So the elementary education is further divided into two parts: the foundation phase and the intermediate phase. In a foundation phase, it consists of grades R, which is the kindergarten, through grade 3. So the age of the students in this phase begins at the age of 6 until the age of 9. So the subjects that was focused on this phase includes home language, additional language, mathematics, and life skills. There are in total between 23 to 25 hours per week that it is taught in the classroom. The additional official language subject is introduced to grade 1. Another part of elementary education is the intermediate phase. So in this phase, it includes grades 4 to grade 6. The number of years that the student spent in this phase is 3 years, and their age begins with the age of 9 until the age of 12. So the curriculum features of this phase includes the home language, the additional language, mathematics, natural science, technology, social science, and life science. So students in this phase, they attend the classes for about 27.5 hours per week. So at the elementary level, the assessment is conducted by each individual elementary school. So, in the elementary education, there are no national examinations, or nor there is no also a formal qualification awarded to the at the end of the elementary school cycle. After elementary education, we have secondary education. So in South Africa, their secondary education is 6 years in duration, meaning it is from grade 7 to grade 12. It is also divided into 2 phases, which is the lower and the upper secondary school. First, let's begin to the lower secondary. So the lower secondary is also known as the senior phase, wherein it starts from grade 7 and it lasts through grade 9. So the age that the students typically begin in this phase is at the age of 12 or 13. The number of years they also spent in studying is 3 years. So the curriculum features of this phase includes home language, an additional language, mathematics, natural science, social science, technology, economic and management sciences, life orientation, and the arts and culture. Another is the hours of classroom instruction per week is 27.5 hours. The thing that we need to remember in this space is that it is mandatory, or the students is required to attend the school until this phase. So from grade R or kindergarten through grade 9, the students are required, or the education is compulsory. Let's proceed to the another part or another phase of secondary education, which is the upper secondary. So in this phase, it starts with the grade 10 or it lasts through grade 12. The upper secondary is also known as the further education and training, or the FET. So the entry into this space requires an official record of completion of grade 9. So the students must complete the grade 9 before entering into this space. Similarly to the intermediate and the senior phase, the upper secondary also comprises 27.5 classroom hours per week. As you can see in our slide, the number of years that students spent in this space is 3 years, and the age of the students is 15 and above. And also, this space is not mandatory. So we need to remember that the only mandatory that the student must attend is from grade R or the kindergarten to the lower secondary, or until grade 9. At the start of the upper secondary school, which is the grade 10, students are streamed into one of the two tracks, which is the academic or general and the technical track. So the students must choose between these two, and for the students who select the technical track, they must be enrolled in a technical secondary school. So both academic or general and technical track, the students must study 7 subjects. So out of those 7 subjects, the 4 subjects are mandatory, regardless of the stream or the track. This include the 2 official language, the mathematics, which is the courses. The courses differ in scope between the 2 tracks, and the life orientation. So students can select the remaining 3 subjects as electives. So they are advised to study subjects that they are or they might be interested in pursuing higher education. Another is at the end of the grade 12, which they need to have the National Senior Certificate or the NSC. So the graduation of the grade 12 students depends on how they perform on their final exam, which is the NSC exam. So those who earn a second level or the higher certificate pass, but those who do not score high enough to continue on into the diploma or the degree granting institutions of higher education may enroll in a bridge year or grade 13 at an accredited institution. So we must remember that the National Senior Certificate allows the students to enroll or pursue higher education. According to the Department of Higher Education and Training, or the DHET, they are the one who oversees the post-secondary level education, including those 2 tracks, which is the academic institutions and the post-secondary technical training. According to them, the numbers of dropout at the secondary level is, especially in the final year or the grade 12, are high. So about 1 million young individuals exit the schooling system annually. So they don't achieve this grade 12 certificate or the NSC. So half of those who exit the schooling system is because they exit after grade 11 because they do not enroll to become a grade 12 student, or another reason is they fail the grade 12 level. So we can conclude that the National Senior Certificate or the NSC is very important for them to access a higher education, because if their scores are high enough, if the test qualifies them as pass, then they can attain for higher education. So that is all for my report. Thank you for listening.